The people with the worst past can create the best future. If you don't design your own life plan, chances are you'll fall into someone else's plan, and what they have planned for you is not much. Don't just love yourself. Have respect for yourself. If you don't, other people will have no problems walking all over you. The highest reward for one's toil is not what one gets for it, but what one becomes by it. Stop looking for happiness in the same place you lost it. Don't cling to yesterday. It was beautiful, but it was yesterday. Stop being so available to people who are only there for you when it's convenient for them. Clocks show time, and time shows people. Healing doesn't mean the damage never existed. It means the damage no longer controls your life. Recognizing that you are not where you want to be is a starting point to begin changing your life. Out of suffering have emerged the strongest souls. The most massive characters are seared with scars. If you're not resilient by now, life is only going to get tougher for you. Do not cling to any one person, not even your most beloved. Every person is a prison and also a hiding place. One day you'll laugh at how much you let this matter. Enjoy what you can and ignore the rest. Let's not waste any energy fighting things that are outside our control. Whatever the present moment contains, accept it as if you had chosen it. Always work with it, not against it. Make it your friend and ally, not your enemy. This will miraculously transform your whole life. Sometimes letting things go is an act of far greater power than defending or hanging on. The chief trick to making good mistakes is not to hide them, especially not from yourself. Life gets better when health becomes your first priority. The energy we spend to complain can be redirected to act for change. When we take responsibility, we get out of the victim mode and move on. As you improve, you'll find yourself more disappointed with those around you. To avoid this, be hard on yourself, but understanding of others. Nothing prevents happiness like the memory of happiness. Try to get what you love. Otherwise, you'll have to love what you got. If you can find paths without any obstacles, it probably leads nowhere. Obstacles aren't roadblocks. They're road signs. Your value is not determined by someone else's inability to see your worth. Problems are the price you pay for progress. Be patient and tough. Someday this pain will be useful to you. Choosing comfort over discomfort does not lead to a comfortable life. Unless you try to do something beyond what you have already mastered, you will never grow. It's your road, and yours alone. Others may walk it with you, but no one can walk it for you. The trouble is, if you don't spend your life yourself, other people spend it for you. Being deluded and scared will make you suffocate. Being honest with yourself, responsible, will make you breathe. Stand up to your obstacles and do something about them. You will find that they haven't half the strength you think they have. Forgiving people in silence and never speaking to them again is a form of self-care. Stop prioritizing your mental health instead of adjusting to toxic spaces. If you haven't the strength to impose your own terms upon life, then you must accept the terms it offers you. When you come out of the storm, you won't be the same person who walked in. When you're driving through the darkness, you can only see as far as the headlights shine, but you can make the whole trip that way. In the end, everything will be okay. If it's not okay, it's not yet the end. If it makes you nervous, you're doing it right. The most important thing is to look ahead. The past is your anchor. Life is a succession of lessons that must be lived to be understood. No matter how many people you surround yourself with, you will always be alone. It's up to you to pick yourself up and carry on. What a wonderful thought it is that some of the best days of our lives haven't happened yet. There is only one thing more painful than learning from experience, and that is not learning from experience. In any given moment, we have two options: to step forward into growth or step back into safety. Your life is your story. Write well, edit often. No amount of regretting can change the past, and no amount of worrying can change the future. 20 years from now, you'll be more disappointed by the things you didn't do than the ones you did. Life shrinks or expands in the proportion to one's courage. Letting go means to come to the realization that some people are a part of your history, but not a part of your destiny. Courage is like a muscle. We strengthen it by use. The bad news is, time flies. The good news is, you're the pilot. Tell the truth, or someone will tell it for you. To choose doubt as a philosophy of life is akin to choosing immobility as a means of transportation. If you give up on your dreams, what's left? If we all did the things we are capable of, we would literally astound ourselves. We aim above the mark to hit the mark. Finding the lesson behind every adversity will be the one important thing that helps get you through it. Dreams happen when you're asleep. Hope happens when you dream while you're awake. The pain you've been feeling can't compare to the joy that is coming. You can't live your life for other people. You've got to do what's right for you, even if it hurts some people you love. Sometimes good things fall apart, so better things can fall together. Don't wish it were easier. Wish you were better. Life is not a matter of holding good cards, but of playing the poor hand well. Fear is just excitement in need of an attitude adjustment. We don't see things as they are. We see them as we are. You never know how strong you are until being strong is your only choice. It's not the load that keeps you down. It's how you carry it. At the end of the game, the king and the pawn go back to the same box. We must embrace pain and burn it as fuel for our journey. The days are long, but the years are short. Everything you want is on the other side of fear. When something is important enough, you do it even if the odds are not in your favor. I have learned not to allow rejection to move me. It's not who you think you are that holds you back. It's who you think you're not. Forgive yourself for your faults and your mistakes, and move on. When you accept yourself, the whole world accepts you. Despite everything, it's still you. Your talent determines what you can do. Your motivation determines how much you are willing to do. Your attitude determines how well you do it. You are always stronger and more resourceful than you give yourself credit for. With confidence, you have won before you have started. The only place where your dream becomes impossible is in your own thinking. Life is either a daring adventure or nothing at all. Challenge and adversity are meant to help you know who you are. Storms hit your weakness, but unlock your true strength. Pain is inevitable. Suffering is optional. Worry does not empty tomorrow of its sorrow. It empties today of its strength. The discontent and frustration that you feel is entirely your own creation. People don't resist change. They resist being changed. If you think you are too small to make a difference, try sleeping with a mosquito. If you wait for something, all that happens is that you get older. Step out of the history that is holding you back. Step into the new story you are willing to create. At the end of the day, let there be no excuses, no explanations, no regrets. You have within you right now everything you need to deal with whatever the world can throw at you. Knowing yourself is the beginning of all wisdom. It is not the mountain we conquer, but ourselves. Waiting is painful. Forgetting is painful. But not knowing which to do is the worst kind of suffering. Be careful the stories you're telling yourself about your current circumstances. A head full of negative thoughts has no space for positive ones. Strong people have a strong sense of self-worth and self-awareness. They don't need the approval of others. If there was nothing wrong in the world, there wouldn't be anything for us to do. You will never change your life until you change something you do daily. The more we value things outside our control, the less control we have. Almost every successful person begins with two beliefs. The future can be better than the present, and I have the power to make it so.